come on, switch. Oh, flipping camera. Alright, so I've been, I don't know, this is getting on for nearly, it's going to be 2 weeks the way this is going. So, there's me trying to figure out what's going on with this bloody thing, because I tell you, it's just baffling me. It's driving me crazy, right? Oh, oh nearly choked on my coffee then. Oh. Right, so, oh God, it's gone the wrong way. So I'm working on ipv6 problems, right? Oh shit. Right, so it turns out my XP is now running ipv6. So what you do is you go into the you can go into your network settings and you can enable it in there, or you can do it in the command prompt. I found some articles on the internet to turn on ipv6. Now I'll tell you what the problem is. For some reason, it looks like VLC is not sending out data onto my local network. I've tried sending it to my local IP address, which is the same IP as Windows XP, and try to access that stream on Ubuntu, which is inside the virtual machine. Nada, nothing, doesn't work. It just, I've had a couple of blue screens of death actually. It's well, that's pretty bad actually if that happens when you've got the virtual machine running, because Linux could get corrupted, and it's happened before, which is why I keep a backup of my Linux virtual machine. I just copy the whole folder that contains the virtual machine of Linux, Ubuntu, which is basically Zorin. I just copy the whole folder and move that copy onto another partition so that it's safe, and then if anything does get messed up, I can just move it back, you know. Saves having a bad day. So there's ipv6. Apparently, from the research I've done so far, earlier versions of VLC didn't support VLC ipv6, right? Newer versions, it looks like they do support ipv6, but it said something in the articles that the problem was that RTV or RTSP doesn't work over ipv6 very well, which was a few years ago, but I assume it works now. It must do, because everybody's on these. I've got the latest version of VLC running on XP as well. But does the latest version of VLC, which is claimed, according to the VLC website, it's claimed that it'll work on any operating system. Do they mean it'll play stuff on any operating system, or do they mean it? I don't know. So if it play on any operating system, that's fine for those people. But can it stream on any operating system? That is the question, because so far I haven't been able to get a peep out of VLC on Ubuntu. So I've got Ubuntu installed inside the virtual machine on XP, and XP is running on the same network. So we've got the common DNS suffix, which is basically 255.255.255.0, and the XP is running on 192.168.2.25, and the virtual machine is XP. The virtual machine Ubuntu is running on 192.168.2.31, right? So we're in a common IP range. I can ping from Ubuntu, I can ping XP, and from XP I can ping Ubuntu. So there's communication there. I'm able to ping in both directions. Yet VLC is not sending video data, or I'm not receiving video data on Ubuntu. Now, look, I am not a genius when it comes to computing and networking. I mean, everything's moved along so much, I can't keep up with it, to be honest with you. I mean, back in the Windows 95 days, I was pretty good with Windows 95, and I was pretty good with Windows XP in going through all the stuff and everything, but I'm still pretty good with XP. But networking wasn't my main skill. I've always had issues with networking. It's a really complicated thing, right? So especially now that we're messing around with ipv6, which is completely new to me, really. So I need something. Is there anybody out there, somebody out there watching this, maybe, I don't know, that has some kind of a script that can check to see if VLC is actually sending anything out? Because how do you check if VLC is actually sending data out? Because I've been through the preferences, I've been through the configuration. It says it's sending video, it says it's processing video, it says you can see all the packets and all that stuff, and how many frames it's dropped, but it doesn't actually tell you if it's sending any data out. I can't find that. I don't know where that is. Maybe I need to do another search. I probably need to do that. But I know for a fact that both VLC applications can receive data. They can actually play data or can play video with it. We're getting no errors or anything. And people will say, "Why don't you just upgrade to, you know, why don't you use Windows 10?" Blah, blah, blah. No, it's too much telemetry, too much. It's spyware. You know, I'll tell you what our theory is. You know, I've got this theory that this is some kind of desperate ploy by Big Brother, maybe, to force everybody onto the latest, more modern systems that they can use more telemetry data and spyware and all that stuff, right? So, yeah. So they don't want us using older operating systems because they're not compatible with the algorithms and all that stuff, and they don't have all this telemetry and all that stuff in the background running. So they're disabling it by stealth or proxy or whatever. So basically what's happening is they're steering, you know what steering groups are, they're steering certain developers into certain directions, which is not favourable to what the majority of us want. So yeah, why am I mumbling? I'm mumbling because the speech to text what do you call it, machine can't really understand a word I'm saying when I'm like that. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, I had the blue screen of death. I had to reboot XP again and do a disk check and fix, because of the blue screen I had to fix the what do you call it? Oh shit, I've forgotten now. Yeah, there's a file anyway on XP that I truncated or something. I had to repass a file. So that happens sometimes, and the only reason I think I'm getting the blue screen is because of VLC. Now what happened was, I was running VLC and I'd sent it to the address of 235.0.0.1, and I was streaming on that particular address, and instead of stopping it, instead of pressing the stop button to stop streaming, I just hit the close button and I had the blue screen of death. My computer just, yeah. So yeah, I maybe should have pressed the stop button first. So whatever happened, it was probably my fault because I should have pressed the stop button first. But yeah, these things happen. So I don't know what to do. At the moment, I am scratching my head. I've been looking up for all these Wikipedia files and everything, trying to figure out what's going on, find a solution. Initially, I thought that there was a communication problem, but I'm not so sure now. Because it appears that Zorin Linux or Ubuntu, it appears that it's new enough to run ipv6, because I did a, what do you call it, IP config thing. Well, it's different on Linux. Apparently you just type IP space A and you get all the network stuff. I was fine about for like 10 minutes with IP config, thinking it was the same as it is on Windows, and no, I just got a bunch of weird messages on the screen which didn't make any sense. I thought, what the hell? I thought, hang on, maybe they do something different on Ubuntu. So I did search and it says IPA. I thought, that's easy, blooming heck. I should have known. It's so easy. IPA space A, and that gives you your networking. So when I did that, it showed me a list of IP addresses, and they're in the same format you get with IPv6. So I'm pretty sure that Ubuntu is working with IPv6 because of the extended addresses you get. You get them, anyway, it's different to IPv4. So I knew straight away as soon as I did that, that this Ubuntu is definitely using IPv6. And now I've got XP using IPv6. There shouldn't be any network conflict there. It should communicate. And also, I mistakenly thought that Windows XP was on Service Pack 1, and it's not. It's actually, it's 64-bit version of XP, and it's actually using Service Pack 2. So there was a conflict in Service Pack 1 where the IPv6 would be firewalled, according to this article I was reading on Wikipedia. Well, luckily I'm not on Service Pack 1, I'm on Service Pack 2, so so that shouldn't be an issue. I don't know. I'm sorry I'm in the dark. It's just that I get sick of putting the light on, and I've got my blanket on because I've got my blanket because it's cold in the UK right now, and I'm trying to save electric and gas and heating and all that. So I don't know. I am totally stumped as to what's going on with this. As I say, the only program I can get to work on XP really is VLC. I've tried a bunch of other programs. I had a whole list of old software which I was trying out, and most of them don't stream the desktop. So, and that's what I want to do. I want to stream the desktop on XP. You can't install all OBS on XP because it's no longer supported. And I don't think OBS, I don't think an old version of OBS would work on XP either. And yeah, and it's a bit of a memory hog as well if it's on XP. So yeah, I am stuck right now. Anyway, I'm gonna go and do some more digging. To see if I can figure out something else. I need to find a script to check the output of VLC. That's my next step. I need to check to see if VLC is sending out data. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.